Hello, and welcome to the Kosh. I'm your host, Timber Smith, and once again, we are back for another amazing episode. How is everybody doing out there in the Kosh? I hope everybody's doing well. Sometimes when we release these, they don't actually match up with the time frame in which we're recording. So in this case, what I'm going to say to you is I hope you all had an amazing holiday. We're just getting done with Thanksgiving. I'm sure some of us are still taking them naps. I know I needed a nap, didn't get a nap, still need a nap. Love a nap. You know what the other thing is I've learned is that as I have gotten older, and as many of us have gotten older, I'm sure that whereas when you were young, naps was a 4-letter word, and now naps is like one of the greatest words you could ever say and one of the greatest things you could ever do. So I'm just throwing that out there to the Kosh listeners. All right, now to jump into the show. Hey, like every week, we have another amazing guest. I don't know how I get so lucky to get all these amazing guests, but people like coming on the Kosh, and I love having them on the Kosh, and even more so, I love sharing them with you, Kosh listeners. So this week we have AJ Johnson. AJ, how you doing over there?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really, really good. It's one of those things. So I'm gonna give AJ the full introduction of AJ Johnson, hype man for Think Local. What does that mean?
Okay, so what the hype man comes from is I come from a 13-year trained sales positions. I've worked for all the corporate cell phone providers. I've worked in call centers. I've worked everywhere, these corporate locations. My daughter was born on my 17th birthday. I need to get a job. I started at Burger King, went to there. Sales is definitely one of the things I love to do. We never took care of people the way they needed to be taken care of, though. I would sell somebody a phone, couldn't transfer half their information. They'd come back once a week, have issues, and we never fully got to help them. So when I left the corporate world, I didn't want a title of CEO. I didn't want a title of sales manager. I wanted to do what a lot of managers don't do, and that's hype people up, make them feel like they're in a position that, hey, my guy's got my back. And so when I started working with Think Local, I was doing door to door. I was talking to people, and I was talking to the CEO, Ben, and I'm like, hey, I really want to go long-term with this. I want to help as many people as I can, but I don't want that title. I want to be a hype man. I want to hype up people that are underneath me, around me. I want them to feel like they have somebody that would be like, yeah, go do it. Go do more. Go do it. That's awesome. I love it. Do this. You can do that. And not be like, you're doing it wrong.
I love it. I think the only title greater than hype man, which I might steal at some point, might be Jedi.
That's true.
I think Jedi is all purpose. All right. So can you please share a little something about yourself, and what's your connection to the Kosh?
Oh, a little something about myself. I was born at Appleton Medical Center. I lived in Little Chute. I've lived in Appleton. I now live in Menasha. I'm a Fox Cities boy, born and bred. I love this area. We are different than anywhere else in the world. You come to the Valley, Oshkosh, through Green Bay, and people will tell you it's a different feeling when you come here. People are nicer. They're more willing to talk to you. They're more open. It's just an awesome thing. And being from this area, I just love it. And that's, a little bit about what I am is just, I've always been a local guy. I really have. I've been working for corporations. My big thing was support local, support the people that actually matter. And that was actually how I came in contact with the Kosh. I had heard a couple episodes when I was working on doing our podcast for local businesses. And I went to a comedy show with Lyle from Fox Valley Comedy. And he's like, hey, come see the show, see what's going on. And I was there, and he's like, yeah, the guy from the Kosh is going to be here. And I was like, what? I really need to meet him. I really want to meet him. And he's like, give me 2 minutes. Walked over, and sure enough, all of a sudden you came back over, and I was just like, that is so cool. You're doing an amazing thing for the Oshkosh and the Valley area, because not too many people want to bring people on and let them share their stories and share what about them and let people get to know them. And it's amazing.
Yeah. I truly appreciate that. And I appreciated our conversation when we got an opportunity to meet. And, you know, we are an amazing area. I don't think we celebrate ourselves enough locally here for what we have to offer, for the quality of life that we have in the Fox Valley region. And here's the most important thing, quality of life in comparison to cost of living. Like, we're super affordable for the quality of life. And like, right. You know what? There's a lot of people that pay a lot more money to have this level of quality of life. And I think, you know, there's an appreciation there. And yeah, so I really appreciate that. All right. You ready to jump in?
Let's go.
Okay, first segment is called What in the World is Going On With? This is where you have an opportunity. You start with the phrase, what in the world is going on with? And you tell us what's on your mind.
All right. So what in the world is going on with local businesses is really something that I think people need to know about. I think there's more people leaving the corporate world and creating businesses. And I absolutely love it. And the reason I love it is because our media company that we're developing with shout outs and, you know, letting people see them and see the owners, the more of these local businesses that people notice are coming, I think is going to be massive, because people don't want to work for somebody that doesn't want to care about them anymore. They want to do things on their own. And I think COVID, as bad as, you know, that whole situation was, I think it led to the Great Resignation. I think people are leaving the corporate jobs. They don't want to flip burgers. They don't want to work under somebody's thumb. They want to do their own stuff. And I think the shopping local and finding these people that left that world and supporting them is huge.
What I would say is, I think, I just think people want to be appreciated, right? I think for a long time, businesses, companies, organizations, they were the ones who held the power. You know, they had the leverage, and now, you know, the tide is changing because they need people, and now they've got to kind of say, hey, we need to actually create an environment where people want to work here, or we need to create a product that people want, and it's not them making all the decisions. So I think the change needed to happen. I'm glad it is happening. By that means, I also do want all businesses to be able to continue to function. I don't want us to lose anymore. I think we've lost our fair share. But that being said, part of being a vibrant business is treating your workers and your employees good.
Oh yeah, and that's one of the big things about it too, is that what owners really stopped understanding when they stopped being involved in their businesses as they grew is that it starts with your workers. You could have 1 million customers come through, but if your workers aren't happy, it's going to reflect on your customers. You're going to see the negative reviews. They're not wanting to show up for work. They're not wanting to do what you want them to do on a regular basis.
Right.
And I think that's a huge thing. I think they just thought, oh, well, you know, I can do whatever I want. And now workers are realizing, hey, well, I can go on TikTok Live and shoot ping pong balls all day long and make money to pay my bills.
Right. And it's also just not about the maximization of profits.
Exactly.
Right. You know, if you're a good business, you're going to make your money, but you can't hoard it all.
Yeah, no.
It's got to trickle down a little bit, you know. You know, and I'm not a trickle economics person because it never trickles. So
yeah, well, and that's the other thing is, like, if you go back to the era, the idea of trickle down was never like a theory. It was just an idea that, like, oh yeah, we'll trickle this out. It never was an idea to actually have that.
It was never action.
What it was supposed to be is, I set you up with what you need. You then take care of the person below you,
right,
because you have it to do it, and they didn't do it,
right,
which is horrible in general. But I think now they're starting to see that maybe there's a better way to do it.
Right. All right. So, my what in the world is going on with is what in the world is going on with Black Friday? And I'm going to tell you why I say this. All right. So, I am an old school Black Friday shopper. That means me and my wife, like it was an annual event. It was actually like in a sporting event. You could compare it to Gladiator, you know, in some sense. It almost was like, and so me and my wife, the day before we'd buy all the papers, local papers. We'd spread them out. We'd come up with our action plan. You know, some places opened at midnight, some places at 2, some places at 3, you know. And we would make the plan when we were going where, depending on the priority of the gift. And then we also would go as far as we had our walkie-talkies. We would split up. We handled it. Like Black Friday was an amazing sport. And then there were some arenas that are tougher than others. Like, you know what? You don't go to Walmart if you're not UFC qualified. I'm just saying that right now. Like, bruh. Yeah, I'm just saying. If you're not UFC qualified, you don't go to Walmart. That's for the heavy hitters. That's heavy hitter stuff. You know, I'm just saying. There's lightweight stuff, but then there's heavyweight stuff in the Black Friday realm. But now, and this isn't just this year, because this year Black Friday was just like blah. It was just blah. And we've been leading up to this, to me, ever since they started opening on Thanksgiving, which I'm really glad that places are starting to close on Thanksgiving now, because the money ain't that serious. You know, let the people have that family time. You know, just let them have that family time. And the next day you're going to get the business, you're going to get that anyway, you know? And so Black Friday had been trailing down for a number of years, but this year truly, and I think COVID has kind of just finished off what used to be an amazing shopping event as far as Black Friday. And online. But that's what in the world is going on with, because it used to be like, that's what I lived for. Like, I literally took the day off work the day after Thanksgiving, got everything. We mapped out our plan, walkie-talkies in effect. We'd run. I'd throw games on the top shelf to moms and short individuals who could not reach them. Like, it was, we were in this together. You know, sometime it got a little rough. If you went into Walmart, you better had took some taekwondo, because it was real. But
no, just on that topic, and I absolutely 100% agree with you. Back in the day, me and my mom, she'd always plot that stuff out, know what to get, where the gifts were coming. I mean, she was the same way, and I agree. Like, you didn't go to Walmart unless you knew what you were going there for and you were ready to go.
Facts.
But what I think that has led to, and I kind of seen it this year, is a lot of the smaller businesses, especially yesterday, that were running Black Friday deals, they became the Walmart. There was a lot of them where they were piled at the door to go support a local business. And I didn't see nearly as many when I was out and about at those big stores anymore.
No.
They were like, no, I'd rather give my money back to somebody and keep it local. And I think that was one of the big changes that I think coming next year, you might see even more, where it's like, here's the local lineup. Go have fun. And that's going to become like hey, they only got a certain amount of them because it's locally made, locally done, like Ben Shots. And you're going to have to be like really right there or be buying it online.
All right. Okay. Next segment, word association. Word association is just I'm going to say a word and you tell me what comes to your mind when I say it. All right. We're going to start off with the classic food.
Food. Let's see. It would definitely have to be, right now on my mind, the Roxy Supper Club.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the Roxy is real. I'm gonna have to get that. Because that's fantastic food.
Yeah, I've had it once, and I'll be there again on Tuesday.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so good, and It's definitely a staple in this area.
All right. Hey, shout out to Chef Wolfie if you are still in the game. I used to know Wolfie, but I don't know if Wolfie is still in the game. Maybe he retired, but maybe not. But otherwise, that is really good food. We don't go there enough, but I got in-laws. That's their staple. Like that is Oshkosh's tried and true supper club. Mm-hmm. No fans of butts. Okay. Anything special in particular you like there?
I mean, they just got some good food, and like the environment when you go there, it's like that old school, you feel like you're one of the family while you're there. Yeah. And they get busy, it's a little different, but I mean, that's everywhere. But I feel like you walk in the door and they're nice from the start to the end. And it's just not one of those places where you go in and just get, the same, you go in going, oh, what do you guys got on the menu?
Yeah, it's classic.
Yep.
Classic. No fans or butts. Okay. Cocktails or beer?
Cocktails or beer. I'm going to have to leave Oshkosh for this one. Sorry. We got to go with the Camelot. Camelot's on my mind. It's a guy I've known for quite some time, and you go in there and it's a bar / they have amazing fish fries on Wednesdays and Fridays. And like they need a little help right now to be able to stay open on Fridays. They have order outs in the morning, but it's just a home bar. Like you go there, they got food, they're family friendly.
Where they at?
They're over in Appleton, right on Wisconsin Avenue, down by what used to be the firehouse, on the east side there.
Okay.
Yeah. Used to play softball with the owner. Really great guy. Absolutely love him. But yeah, it's one of those places you go in and you're like, oh yeah, I could hang out here for a while, play darts, some pool, have a couple cocktails.
But they got a mean fish fry.
They got a mean fish fry and a mean king burger.
King burger. Okay. Wait. So what's the drink? What's the drink of choice when we go to this establishment?
Tequila Sunrises.
What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
the weakness.
That is the weakness there. They make them. They definitely got some good tequila on them.
Okay. Look, I'm gonna give that as a Kosh first.
Bruh.
Tequila Sunrises. All right, I'm feeling that one. All right. See, me and tequila, I've got a thing against drinks with names of people. Because I feel like them fighting drinks.
Oh yeah,
them fighting drinks. Like Jose ain't nothing to play with. Captain ain't nothing to play with. Jack,
Oh yeah,
Jack Daniels, that ain't nothing to play with. Look, if it got a name, they done been through some things.
Oh yeah, for sure. I agree.
All right, streaming.
For streaming. Definitely, it's kind of a rough one, but I mean, it's got to go like Netflix, Hulu, like anything streaming. I'm thinking video stream.
Oh yeah, what are you watching right now though?
Well, I just got done watching the newest episode,
the third season.
Yep,
did you finish it?
Just finished that. Wow, my wife got me hooked on that one. That just goes from crazy to insane to like, you just don't know what's gonna happen next. You just don't.
Everybody, I'm not gonna lie. Like I've not watched. I never got past season 1. I watched season 1, didn't go to season 2, but everybody's hyping season 3, and it makes me almost want to binge it.
Season 2 really like season 1. You kind of learn about him and the way that his mind works, some of his history a little bit, but you kind of see how like people can, especially with the internet, become obsessed with people. And back in the day, you used to have to like go creep in the bushes, or you had to stalk people to figure this information out. Now there's so much available online. It just shows the vulnerability to the people that have that addictive personalities. Right. Even like my wife, like anybody that she's like, oh, who's that person? Boom, right onto social media, looking through all their stuff, could tell you who they are, if they have brothers, sisters, dogs, cats. And I'm sitting here going, why don't you just ask them? Like human interaction is gone, and you just brings that to light. So people that like don't realize that when you watch season 2, when you find somebody that's more of his style, it just gets crazy, because then you can kind of see how negative emotions and negative attractions to things can really lead to craziness.
Okay. I get that. And you know what? You're right. You're right about that with people. Just they no one asks anybody anything anymore. People just are like, you know, I reached out to you because I've looked you up online. You seem cool. That's kind of where we're at now, right? Like people go self-verify first, and then they reach out, and then they're like, all right, and so, you know, which I don't know if that's good or bad, because it might not be a bad thing, right? The ability to be able to do, but you can make your online personality
Anything you want,
any profile with anything you want, right? So it's not necessarily a true testament, but
I think nothing beats true human interaction. Like when you're actually interacting to somebody,
absolutely,
it's a lot harder. You can tell their tells when they're lying. Yeah. When you're on a social media profile, I mean, I could put on the King of England. Like nobody could de-verify that minus the fact unless they know the king and know his profile.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Okay, that word took a turn.
Right?
Bruh. So, all right. Shop local.
Huge one for me is local business, local money, you know, friends, family. When you're shop local, you're literally supporting somebody's daughter to go, you know, into ballet, into cheerleading. You're supporting the people that are literally next to you and not supporting somebody that's on a yacht all year round and you're nothing you can do about it.
I even look at it more in depth. Like if you've ever had to go out in the community and all the people you're asking for things, hey, can you sponsor my kids' softball team's jerseys or soccer team's jerseys and stuff like that? You know, my daughter, Kosh listeners, you all know my daughter played a lot of soccer in the lifetime here, and you know, and it's never a big business that gets the name on the jersey, right? It's always some small local business, and we got to take care of them, you know, because they're the ones that truly do end up investing back into the community. I mean, I know the big dogs, they give a little money here and there, but it's not the same. You know, I can't tell you like my daughter played soccer since 4. There was never a Walmart jersey.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying it's super important when it's time, because we all ask. We all have these things we believe in. There's these organizations we believe in. We all go out there and we ask. And when we ask, are you spending in those places too? So I think it is important. Mm-hmm. All right. Narratives.
So narratives, people's stories. Where do they come from? What are they about? Like you never support somebody until you truly know their story. And when you know their story, it's no longer you supporting their cause, it's you supporting the person. And when you support a person and their narrative and where they've come from, whether it be a bad history, a good history, their narrative matters.
I agree with that. I think narratives are some of the most powerful ways to communicate. And it's also, you know what, if you ever notice, hey, let me give a quick shout out to Grace Lim out there. Grace, the master of narratives. You know what, it's my thing is this. You ever go to conferences? You ever some conferences? Have you ever noticed that when you do a conference and, you know, you go to these small, what do they call those the small breakout sessions, right? You go to a session for this or a session for that. To me, the only thing I ever take away is whatever the good narrative is. Like if the presenter has this narrative and they tell you the story about whatever, and then all of a sudden I'm locked in and I remember everything. But if there is nothing and all you're doing is showing up and just giving me a bunch of data points and this, that, and another, I usually can't. It's much harder for me to retain it, to re-explain it, to share it with my colleagues. Like that's just tough stuff. But a really quality narrative makes it good.
Yep.
All right. Holidays.
Holidays, I think of the old school holidays, like when you're a kid and you're spending the time with your family, whether it be, you know, good or bad, or you're forced to do it. But I always think of the holidays celebrated like the old school way. They're all about reconnecting back with your family, with being around them, with supporting the people that support you. And when I say family, I'm not talking always blood. Because there's a lot of people that don't have blood families. There's a lot of people that don't like their blood families. But I'm talking about holidays should be. Exactly. Holidays should be, and in my mind, should be more about getting with the people you consider your brothers, your sisters, your moms, your dads, your grandparents, while everybody's still here, and the people that have supported you to get to where you are. Spend the time with them. You know, it's not about boxes. It's not about gifts. It's not about any of that. It's about actually spending real human time off your phone with your family. Hear their stories. Learn from the older people so you don't make those mistakes. So many people are so not wanting to learn that. And the holidays were always a great time to hear stories of the past, stories of everything. And when you listen, the holidays were perfect to come out in January and be like, dude, all right, let's start fresh. The holidays just celebrate that end of that year, and always in my mind.
No, I agree with that. Like the holidays are just, I just remember it's the holidays were like, it was the one time a year you were going to see those aunts and uncles you don't always get to see. You get to, in my youth, it was about my cousins. Get to kick it with my cousins, my grandmama and them, eating some good meals and stuff. Like I agree with you. And an important time to create legacy.
Yep.
Right? There's this thing for legacy. So let me ask you this then. Let me dig in a little deeper. All right. So is there any family traditions for the holidays? Is there something special that happens?
So one of the main, and as soon as my wife hears this, she's going to laugh, but since I've been younger, there's this dish that's been passed down in my family. We call it the pink stuff. It's literally, it literally causes a war in my family. The moment grandma gets done making it, if I know it's being made, I'm flying over there. Because if I don't, my dad's going to eat it. But it's a dish that like just the taste brings back your childhood. It brings back just innocence. It sounds stupid. It really does. And nobody else gets it besides the people in my immediate family because we get it once a year. And it's one of those things where it's a dish that brings us together and just reminds us of a time when things were innocent, things were simple. So it's weird, but it's so good. And I don't have the recipe yet, and I know I need to get it.
What? Wait, okay, so I got to ask for the Kosh listeners, what is the pink stuff? Because,
So,
is it a...
You know, okay, like they they have like that fluffy stuff that you can buy like from like Festival and that in their little deli area. It's like that fluffy type stuff you can buy. It's like that, but I know it has raspberries, Jello, and it's not made hard. It's still like a soft soupy, and you can literally just eat it.
Ooh.
It's the raspberry type Jello. I don't know what else is in it, but I know it's got like whipped cream and stuff like that. Or not whipped cream. Yeah, whipped cream. And it's just soft, delicious. You don't even have to chew it. So when you get older, you could put it in a feeding tube. And like, that's literally what I'm going to live on. I'm not going to lie.
All right. So look, that is fantastic. The pink stuff. And I can't believe that is like the name that the family has decided on. That they didn't even give it like an official name. They just was like, it's the pink stuff.
Well, it was, okay, so my great-grandma, who's lived in Reedsburg her whole life, and they were a huge Reedsburg family. We still have the house. My cousin lives there now, but she used to make food for basically all of Reedsburg. They were all welcomed to come over. It was old school style. Take off your shoes, come in, eat food.
Right.
And she wanted to make something that she could feed everybody with. So she'd get big turkeys, mashed potatoes were easy. And she wanted a dessert, so she started from what I understand, she started making this big bowl of the pink stuff because they asked her, what's the name of it? And she's like, it's the pink stuff. Just eat it. And people would literally line up to come over and get some of it back then. And it's been handed down now in my family to my grandma. And it's the same thing. Like, if people actually tried it, they'd be like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, I'm in line for this every year, once a year. Let's go.
Okay. Has it been passed down yet to, is that your grandma? Has it been passed further than grandma? Or is she holding on tight?
She's holding on tight to it. She's 84. So it's almost time to get it passed down, but I don't know. My dad's the last one that it would go to before me. So
Okay.
and I don't know about my dad's cooking.
Uh-oh.
Pork chops back in the day were kind of rough. Just saying.
Can we send a shout out to Grandma?
Oh, yeah. Pixie Johnson. A lot of people know her. She worked at Kmart, Walmart. People reach out to me that see her picture. They love her. She's always been a sweetheart in the community of this area. So definitely.
All right. There's nothing better than having a grandma named Pixie who's holding on to the pink stuff recipe. That's
Right.
that's so good.
It always is.
I couldn't even make that up if I wanted to. That's so fantastic. Okay. All right. On to the next segment, which is the Kosh Hidden Gems. So, do you have any Kosh hidden gems? Is there something in the Kosh particularly that you enjoy that you think others might not be? Because sometimes it's maybe the person's just not thinking of the true value of it. So Oshkosh hidden gem.
So Oshkosh hidden gem.
And you know what? And since you do not necessarily live in the Kosh, we're gonna expand you. How about Fox City's hidden gem?
Float light.
Flow light.
Hands down. So Float light, my wife made me do it when they first opened. It's on College Avenue. John, the owner's amazing. But it's a gem that most people don't think about. The atmosphere of it from the moment you walk in to the moment you leave is so zen and surreal. It's amazing.
What is it?
I'm getting to that. Hold on. We gotta let people know. You walk in the door, you're zened up. I brought that one for sure. I know. But what it is, they actually just expanded too as well. They added a couple more float tanks and a couple more massage tables. Ooh. So what it is you go in, they bring you back, they teach you everything. There's nothing to be worried about. You get into the tub, it's filled with Epsom salt water, and you lay down and you can float. You float on about 11 inches of water. It's good for your back. It's good for muscles because there's no gravity. It's a zero gravity. They have lights you can have on, sound you can have on, but if you shut it all off, it is absolutely no sensors. It's completely sensory deprivations. And it's amazing because it's the longest, shortest hour of your life, but there's no cell phone ringing. There's no outside interference. And your body has no gravity to it. So you can kind of move your body and feel your spine kind of crack in spots it's never done. It's beyond surreal awesomeness. It gives you an opportunity to just zone out, and it's so medically good. And you can get a thing called a floatage. So you can float, be completely relaxed, and then have somebody work your muscles in a massage.
How does that work?
Once you're done, you go floating first. So you get it's an hour. You float, you're relaxed, you get out, they have a robe. Then you walk over, you come out, you go in the massage room, you lay down, they give you a massage right there in a different room.
Oh, so break that down. What was the name of that place again?
It's called Float Light.
Float Light.
It's in College Avenue in Appleton. It is a one of a kind place for what you get when you walk in that door. Like you walk in, the whole crew, not just John and his wife, who are both amazing people, but the whole crew has the same thing. They're so zen and relaxed that you walk in, you could have the worst day of your life. You start talking to them and you're just like, you just feel that like outside world disappear when you're talking to them before you ever get out into the back. Rachel and them guys are amazing at what they do with relaxing people. And I think would be something everybody needs to try at least once. Oh. And I guarantee you're going to be like, yes.
Okay, Float Light, I am sending the shout out right now and the opportunity. I would like a testament. I want to go do the Float Light because that sounds right up my alley. I would like that experience. So I am going to try to make that happen. I'm headed your way.
Yeah. I can put you in touch with John.
All right, let's do that. All right. What does the Kosh need? What does the Fox Cities need? I mean, let me just expand the thought process.
I think it kind of all comes together with what we talked about originally. I think we need to celebrate us more. I think we need to cut out the national stuff that's going on and remember that we've survived the depression in this area and weren't horribly affected. We are a very welcoming, loving community. We have very few people that, want to go out and hurt anybody because of any sort of, without being controversial, but any sort of race, color, things like that. I think we're one of the communities that we look at people as people, and we need to celebrate that. Like, if you're a good person, there's not a color involved. It's literally, you're a good person. We want to support you. We want to help you. Now, there is obviously, we always have bad eggs, but generally this area, we need to celebrate each other more. And I think that's something that, like, you're doing amazingly with celebrating people individually based on, what they're doing, how they're helping people, what they're doing in the community. If you're going out and causing trouble, you're a troublemaker. I don't care who you are, but I think we need to celebrate ourselves more for being an example that needs to be spread everywhere.
I like it. What I will say about this area is this area has transitioned. This area is definitely not innocent in its transition in race, because I've been here a long time, cracking 30 years, and what I will say is where we are today is not where we were then by a long shot.
No. Yes.
But there are just really good people.
Yeah.
And what I like about it is a lot of people have grown. And that's what you need, right? It's really, I don't think there's any wins in staying in a space of constantly pointing out flaws or the where we were. I think your space is to point out where we're headed and the growth. And that is how we continue to move forward and grow. And I can say that about this area. I've seen it firsthand. I've experienced it. My family has experienced it. This place, it's special.
It is. And I'm not saying nobody's innocent. We all have our rough past, but we do learn from them. And I think that's the biggest thing. If you can learn from what happened, not hold it, but learn from it so you don't make that mistake in the future.
Yes.
And you can evolve from it and be better. That's exactly what we need.
Yep. It is exactly what we need. All right. The Naughty/Heroes Corner. This is your opportunity to nominate somebody to the Naughty or the Heroes Corner and explain why.
I definitely would like to nominate the All American Garage Incorporated. It's a local nonprofit. It's a newer local nonprofit that is designed to work and help with current, former, and people that are in need that have served or are serving the country, the city, the state. So whether it be the police, the fire, the military, the vets, everybody. The whole entire idea of it is for them to bring recognition. They build rolling tributes for like parades, stuff like that, to honor people that have died. And they're doing a flag thing in January where they're doing this, awesome flag for the Kaukauna Police Department. But I think honestly, it's one of the few nonprofits where I've met the creator of it, and his goal and his vision to bring community together is just beyond belief. And I think that's a huge thing for being a hero in general, is just, having that want to do something for your community and pushing and trying to actually make that happen without trying to better yourself in the process, money-wise.
I love it. Okay, I'm not even going to touch it. I'm going to let that be what it be. Because sometimes some stuff is just so good that you just let it do what it do.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Now, we are at that time. It is the topic of the week. All right. And so, AJ, you want to go ahead and share with us what your topic of the week is?
So the topic of the week is Think Local Wisconsin.
Okay.
So what we are as an organization is we are a media/marketing company that is sole purpose is to get alongside local owners, local nonprofits, and help them build. So our media side is one that goes out and we do shout outs for businesses, letting people see where the business is, what they offer, what's going on with them. Like if they have new owners, like Spats has new owners, got to meet with them. We like to do interviews with them. We're live at like the parade. We want to bring, our media company is designed to be a positive media company for local businesses, nonprofits, and community members, bring people back together. So we developed the home media company to back what is our app. And our app is having this expansion come out. If you can imagine Neighbors, Facebook, Instagram, all of that kind of combining, giving a true platform where the only businesses you see and nonprofits you see are local. And we are building it to where you're not spending a bunch of money running Facebook ads. We link to your Facebook so people can see it and you can still, get your audience there, but we're a cheaper, easier way to get your name out there, be seen by people. It's got technology in it where you can, pop notifications up on people's phones once a day. It'll hit and be like, hey, this is what we're offering you when you drive by their store. We have hardware coming out that they'll be able to scan the app and you'll have loyalty points for shopping local. We have neighbors type feature with chat. So you'll be able to add people in your area, see the people in your area, talk to owners, leave them reviews. If you actually follow them on our app, it actually gives the owner a list of people that follow them so they can actually reach out to you. They could send you a message. They can let you know what's going on in their store without having to dig for it. It's a direct connect to your local businesses and your local communities. So what we do is we bring, business owners join the app. They partner with us. We build out their profile. We link it to any of their social media. So if they're big on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, we will link it to there. If they need people to go to their own app, if they have their own app, we can link to their app. Our whole goal is to not fight anybody. If you're a marketing company, we want to go alongside you because you should be going, hey, you're a local company. You really should be getting on the Think Local app because there's nobody overseeing you. Right. You're not having to pay a lot of money for a sponsored ad. Our entire app is designed for you to have attention, for people to know where their local business owners are. We're going to have a plan your day feature where you can go out and literally plan where you're going. As we go across all 50 states, it will be a traveler's app. Go into the local area. Where's their local businesses? What events do they have going on? Our front page is events. Where's your local events? What's going on in your area? And as a true platform, you're not going to be getting banned or kicked off unless obviously you break big things like, naked pictures, stuff like that. But we're not going to ban people. Freedom of speech is one big thing that we stand behind. Everybody should be able to talk. Now, whether you agree with their opinion or not, that's up to you. Everybody has their own opinions, but they have the right to talk. So talk, let people know what's going on. You'll be able to update your status and chat with friends, stuff like that. But as the back end of the platform, we are designed to be a true platform for people and for local business only. So we don't work with Starbucks. We don't work with Walmart. You know where your Starbucks are. You know where your Walmarts are. This is designed for people that want to not only have the true platform, but want to support their local companies.
What's the feedback been like and the engagement?
So the biggest feedback, it's all been positive. Local owners love it because it gives them the opportunity to be able to change out on their doors from find us on Facebook, Instagram, here, to just find us on Think Local and put up a sticker here, find us on here. All our social media is listed. Companies that join us, we actually are bringing out a professional videography crew to do an intro video for them. So kind of like you've seen, Venture Wisconsin or Discover Wisconsin, some of them guys, they do intro videos for businesses.
Right.
We include that from one of our professional photographers or videographers when they join us, because on the app, it actually has a spot for it to go. It gives them an opportunity to be like, hey, look at this is what our business is about. And people love visuals. They love to meet the owner. Our meet the owner section is getting an expansion as well, where you can meet the employees.
Ooh, well, I think that's important. I love shopping places where I know the people. Hey, you know what? That's any place, right? Like, I love a great local drinking establishment where if I walk in, it feels like Cheers. I like the same feeling when I walk into a nice shopping establishment and it's kind of like, oh, yeah. There's Timber. He wears a lot of bow ties. Timber, here's the bow ties that we got in this week.
Yeah, and it's obviously it's amazing. Like I was over at Ghost Town Fitness in Kaukauna, and I was talking to the owner for probably about an hour and a half, and every single person that walked in to work out, he knew him by name and had some other comment to make, like how's the truck doing, how's this going, knew something about him. That type of person, that type of being personable to people,
Right.
is so gone from the feel of corporate world. And it's something that we really do need to bring back, because that's how you keep people coming back. They feel welcomed. They have products are secondary. If you have a good feel to it, people will come buy a second-rate product that is still good. I mean, look at Amazon. Look at what was that other one? Wish. People buy the stuff from there because they don't want to go deal with somebody that could be rude, mean, or something like that, and they don't want that type of issue.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're known as a positive place, an upbeat place, people know your story, they'll come support you instead of ordering from Wish.
Hey, I'm the first, and I've said this in past episodes. You know, my whole thing with Amazon is that it's the most equal opportunity shopping experience there's out there. You know, with Amazon, I ain't never got to worry about getting followed in no store. I ain't got to ever worried about no ignorance. I ain't got to worry about nothing.
You ever heard of Shop Local? You can go online and you can shop local stores online.
No,
I
didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Okay, break that down.
So I don't know a lot about it, but Emma, I know she was the developer. You see a lot of like the red Shop Local places. It's actually an online platform where people can actually throw their stuff up on there. Only local businesses. Originally is the idea of it. Kind of never, I mean, it's not as huge, but a lot of like creators, crafters absolutely love that platform.
Right.
So that's, kind of, one of the competitors to Amazon, but you're 100% right though. Like you can go on Amazon and search for all of the stuff and, what deals are there, all of that. You don't have to worry about anything. It gets brought right to your door.
Well, I'm just talking about the experience itself. Like, it doesn't matter whether it's a small business or a big box business. If I'm walking in there and I'm getting followed, I'm not feeling you.
Oh yeah,
and I'm not
100%.
trying to spend my money with you. If you've been discriminatory in the past, I'm not trying to feel you. If you go and you tell your other customers, because here's the other thing, I want businesses to know this out there. The Fox Valley is small, and you find out real quick what owners feel certain ways about certain individuals, certain people, certain populations. It all travels. It is not far. And so then all of that good work goes out the window when you could just be a good person.
Oh, I'm 100%, man. And that definitely deserves a clapping. No, you're 100% right. And growing up here, I understand what you're exactly saying. Word of mouth is so quick in this area.
Very.
And if you have, the bad part is that one bad experience, not based even on that type of stuff, just in general.
Yeah.
If you're not like a Mims or the Roxy Club or a Dick's Drive-In or Dick's in Kaukauna, if you're not one of those stable places, one bad word could destroy your business. So why not be a good person, work on giving everybody that same experience, and not be just be a good person. Like,
right.
There's no way of saying negatively. We want to be positive. Just be a good person. Give everybody a chance. If they ruin that chance and do something bad, that's what we have police for. That's what we have the rest of the system for. But you give everybody that chance especially when you don't know them.
I'm just all about my whole thing and everything is fair. I'm just looking for fair. Whatever you do for others, do for me and my family and anyone else that is anyone else, whatever that means, whether that they look like me, don't look like me, whoever, the bottom line is this: all dollars are green. I want my experience to be fair.
I I agree with you 100%.
And so my problem is when others act as if all dollars aren't green and they don't have to be fair, and that exists. I mean, it exists. But I will say this: I do think in this new marketplace, and even with some of the things that happen now, because I do think the repercussions are stronger now because of social media.
Oh yeah,
you know, if you out there doing something ignorant, someone gonna tell, is gonna fly out there, and then here's the thing: whether it's true or not, you can't put that jack back in the box.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, that also goes if you're going to try to ruin somebody, it's going to be figured out whether or not you're telling the truth.
Yeah.
So if you truly are not taking care of people, like when you start a business, you write up a mission plan, right? Your mission plan never includes be a bigot, be racist, be detrimental to these people. Your business plan goes, what can I do for the better of my business and my community?
Exactly.
And people need to go back to that. I think that's where it starts, is actually writing that mission plan, even for your life. Just write that mission plan. Like, what do you really want to have as your impact? Do you want it to be positive or do you want it to be negative? And if you want it to be negative, you need to rethink what your mission plan is.
That's a fact. All right. Anything you want to add in there, AJ?
I want to let any small business, local business in the Fox Cities Northeast region know that if you sign up with Think Local and when you go in there, you sign up on any of our year plans and you enter KOSH21 as the code, you'll get 20% off your yearly price. Plus, we're going to donate part of the proceeds to a family in need in the Fox Valley area. We'll announce it a little bit later. Me and Kosh will talk about some things. We'll get all straightened out, but we're going to donate it to a local family in need over the holidays. So between now and the end of the year, if you sign up, use KOSH21, part of that will be donated to a family in need.
Okay, you know what? Now I gotta just take a step back and go, hey, how do you find you? That's important stuff. You know, they got to know how to find you. How do we find you? And know this, we will have the links in the podcast notes as always. So there will be a link. There will be links to the various things that we spoke about in this episode, but more importantly, there will be a link for how to sign up. But how do they find you?
Okay, so you can, the webpage for the area is www.thinklocalwi.com/We Love Fox Cities. Our Facebook page for this area is Think Local Northeast Wisconsin. We have a Think Local Fox Cities group as well, where I try to be more interactive. I run polls for business owners, just what people want for products, like what's going on, why they shop there, what they're looking for in employment. Like, there's a lot of things from that group. Feel free to join, be interactive. There's no anything with it. We're Think Local Northeast Wisconsin on Instagram. We are Think Local on TikTok, on YouTube. And then,
is there a cost associated with just signing up to just to see the things or to learn about the things?
No, all of our social media, even our app for the consumers, 100% free. Just come join the groups.
Okay.
Follow our pages, see what we're doing. You'll see the shout out videos. That the whole entire reason of that is for the local businesses. It's not for our recognition. It is literally, if there's any local businesses that just want a shout out, reach out to me. I'm AJ Johnson on Facebook. You could send a message to Think Local Northeast on any of the pages and message us. If you just want to shout out and learn more, reach out to me. There's no cost. There's no obligation. We are not going to hard sell anyone. If you want to support us, you can join the app. If you want to see what our media is about, reach out to me. I'll be happy to come out to you, give you guys a shout out. We'll do an interview so people can know you. There's no cost to that. We do have our expansion coming up. Some of that may be changing because of the social side. But right now, reach out before the end of the year. Reach out. Get your name out there. We got Christmas coming up. People want to shop local. Reach out to me.
Okay. I'm feeling that. All right. It's anything else you want to add?
Just want to say, it's a huge honor to be on the Kosh. I was listening to your podcast. I'd found it when I was building mine, like I said, and I honestly think that just the stuff that you're doing is huge, and I really I'm honored to be here and be able to be on this with you and be able to kind of talk about the Oshkosh area, because you guys may be a city away from Menasha and Neenah, but you guys are still part of the Fox Cities. I've always considered anywhere from Oshkosh to Green Bay. I mean, anybody will go from Oshkosh to Green Bay for things. Anybody goes from Green Bay to Oshkosh for things. I think we've been one of those areas, and I really think we need to get back to that. I think there needs to be some more open community. I think one of our biggest thing we need to do is simplify our politics again. I think we need to, and it's one of the things we're doing with our media. I do open that to anybody running for any sort of elected group. Reach out to me. As long as you're not willing to not talk about your Democrat or Republican status, you're willing to talk about who you are as a person, why you're qualified, and how you positively want to affect our city, state, county. I will give you a platform. We will sit down and we will talk, but we're not going to bash people. We're not going to talk about what bad the other side's doing. We're going to talk about what you're going to positively do and what is your plan, so people can actually follow it again and hold you accountable for your actions as local people, because local politics matter.
Oh, big time. Local politics matters, and I'm big into that platform, and I've had my fair share of individuals running for different things. So you guys already know how the Kosh gets down. If you want to come on the Kosh and talk about your candidacy, whatever you're running for, hey, the Kosh is has an open door policy to all involved.
I like that.
We keep the door open.
I like that.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to my man, John Damel. I ran into him the other day during Thanksgiving. So, I got to give a shout out to him. He's our county exec. All right. Well, once again, Kosh listeners, I just want to say, hey, it's that time. You know what I'm saying. Thank you. I always appreciate y'all for tuning in and checking it out. But more importantly, as you listen to the episode, we are a work in progress. We are always trying to improve. We are trying to get better. We want to be what you need us to be. And we can't do that without input. So please feel free to reach out to us at the Kosh, askthekosh@gmail.com. Once again, that is askthekosh@gmail.com. I do respond to all emails personally. People will tell you that. Just holler at us. Or if you're out there listening and you're thinking, I really need the opportunity to be on the Kosh, that works too. I have an open door policy. I love great guests, and and there's no agenda. So come talk about what you want to talk about. So once again, askthekosh@gmail.com. All right. AJ, you know what time it is?
It's that time.
It's my favorite time. It is shout out time. So this is the opportunity to give the shout outs to the people that's on your mind. So who you want to shout out?
I really want to shout out, personally, Ben Palmer, owner of Think Local. He's an amazing guy. He's just so full-hearted and wants to do so many good things for this community and for everybody. He doesn't have an agenda. He literally wants to, go back in, rebuild out places. And he's such a full-hearted guy. He wants to help as many people as he can. And being involved with Think Local, it's not even like a job. It's literally just a life mission. And he's definitely one of those people that it's not like showing up for work, man. And it's so different. And I just want to give him a huge shout out. He's doing things with Think Local that you really have to have a thick skin for, because there's a lot of naysayers into doing this, and he walks through it with pride and keeps his head up high, and he doesn't make anybody around him feel that pressure. It's amazing.
Love it. All right. Any other shout outs?
Well, obviously, got a shout out to the wife, the kids,
Most definitely.
my dad, my grandma, who's literally been one of my biggest supporters. Even at her age, she's like, you seem too happy. What's going on? Like, you know, because when you come over and you're depressed all the time, and suddenly now I'm not, and I'm, you know, even with everything we're going through as a family, it's impossible not to keep my head up. So I definitely have to give a shout out to my grandma and my wife and my three kids, my four actually.
Oh.
One I don't get to see as much. He's with his mom, but my two youngest and my 15-year-old is my oldest. That's my daughter.
All right.
She may give me a run for my money, but she's a cheerleader in Menasha, and she took the leap, and I'm so proud of her. She got back involved. She's been through some rough stuff, and you know, the shout out for my wife for just taking all of this and trying to reel everybody in and keep a sane mind is very difficult.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right. I got a few shout outs. This week's shout outs. First of all, shout out to the retail workers out there grinding. I feel you. I know you. I know your pain. I used to be one for many, many years. I worked them Black Fridays, them early mornings, them late days, them 12-hour days on your feet. I feel you. Know this. We appreciate you.
100%.
100. And I don't think they get enough credit.
No.
So, shout out to the Herd. Hey, you know, right now the Herd is on this series win streak, and all I want to say is this: Herd. Look, y'all need to come on the Kosh. I need somebody, a representative, players, whoever, to come on the Kosh. And I have sworn to my friends who I share my seats with, my season ticket friends and my close, dear friends. Shout out to Tarman. Shout out to my man Sean. Shout out to my other friend Sean. Hey, I'm going to wear the same thing to these games until we lose. That is it. I'm superstitious. You can say what you want. Bruh. I'm about that life. So, all right, to the Herd. Shout out to my man Ludacris. I am geeked about Ludacris coming to town. I know y'all have heard me say this before, but Ludacris coming to the Kosh makes Timber happy, and it's about to get real up in here. So, Thank you, Ludacris. I saw he did a little video here for Oshkosh to let us know. But you know what? You want to be real about it? Come on to the Kosh there, Luda. So, and then the biggest shout out and the most important shout out to my wife. The wife turns 50.
Oof.
That's not a ooh. That's a beautiful thing.
It is.
You know what what you learn is that as long as these things called birthdays keep happening, life's good. Is when they stop, there's a big problem.
Amen. Amen.
So, you shout out to my baby, my number one, my ride or die. Thank you. I love you. Yeah, she know what's up. We keep it real, and we keep it humble. So, and one more shout out only because, and I'm gonna tell you why, because somebody walked in here with a little camo on a few things, and I'm looking at it, and so as shout out to all my fellow service members out there. We appreciate you. We know you can't necessarily be home, and for those who get to come home, thank you. Thank you, federal government, for allowing them, or state government to allowing them to come home for the holidays. But more importantly, for those who don't necessarily get to do those things, we never forget about you here. Not at the Kosh. Yeah. All right? So, it is the last piece of the show, and that is the parting words of wisdom. So AJ, what do you have for the parting words of wisdom?
Biggest thing, guys, would be when you're going out for your holiday gifts, you're going out for the presents to your family, to your loved ones, shop local this year. Support the people that actually matter, and go buy a present that wouldn't be, maybe not a PS5, but something that, you know, will actually support the people in your area. And let's take care of each other and make this holiday about family and the community again, and not about what you buy them.
Woo! How you feeling?
Got myself teared up a little bit, but
all right. You know what? The Kosh.